I do have a candidate in the House, in the studio. Edward Lynch is the president of the construction firm De Leon Industries. Is that correct, Ed?
Yeah, De Leon.
De Leon. He's been the CEO of one of Florida's most respected minority contracting firms. And when he walked in the studio, I said, what kind of minority are you a part of? And like me, he's...
Half Spanish.
Half Spanish. Except that as soon as I said that, I said, you're like me. He said, no, you're Puerto Rican. You know, these Spaniards, they always have an attitude. They talk with the th. But that's all right, because he's running against my congressman.
Yes,
Congressman
I am.
Robert Wexler. And,
well, I have to correct you on that. I'm not running against Bob. I'm running for the American people. And it's really not about Bob so much as it's about time that we started doing something and our people started taking our government back into, or taking control of our government again, taking it out of hands of politicians. Unfortunately, Bob's one of those. So, but I try to differentiate between saying I'm running against anyone, because I really don't think that I am.
You're running against Bob Wexler.
A little bit.
You got to get that through your head, all right? I mean, if you're going to be successful in this campaign, it's Bob Wexler that's your target, and you got to take clean, clear shots. Congressman Wexler, we know that you monitor this program. We know your staff is listening. I love your staff. Some of your people are the best people in Broward County. You're always invited on the show, but you always manage to conveniently be out of town or not available whenever I have a question for you. So now that you hear your opponent on the show, perhaps you'd like equal time. And Congressman Wexler, I will accommodate you at any time. I will get rid of any guest that I have to accommodate Congressman Robert Wexler.
Well, that's so nice.
That's right. Well, it's a low law, actually. I have to give him equal time. Otherwise, I wouldn't even say that. But, no, in all fairness, you know, Congressman Wexler used to be on my show all the time when I was, you know, a little more favorably inclined towards him. But since the immigration fiasco and him taking the absolutely wrong position on it, and also since that whole the affair, and I use that term decidedly, of Bill Clinton's, I just couldn't understand why my congressman had to be on television every 5 minutes defending that behavior.
Well, that's what Bob does. He is a great self-promoter. I just wish he spent a little bit more time promoting the welfare and the opinions and issues of the people that he represented. In fact, if you think about it, 70% of the people here in District 19 want Hillary Clinton to get the nominee. And he's, well, as everyone knows, clearly a Barack Obama supporter. But it's so frustrating if he was my congressman, which he is, and I was a Hillary supporter, which I'm not, I would want him to represent my issues and represent the fact that I want Hillary, but he doesn't. He represents his own thing.
But wait a second. Leadership means that there are times when you're going to have to go against a majority opinion that's wrong. And in his, you know, I guess he thinks that that's the wrong opinion. So he's just a party hack. I mean, the reason he's supporting Barack Obama is the same reason everybody else is supporting Barack Obama, because it looks like he's going to get the nomination.
Well, Bob was pretty good, though. He started supporting Barack way last year. I mean, probably like May of last year.
Well, I think he had a falling out with the Clintons, and as so many have, and whatever. The politics are so gross and dirty. I'm rooting for Hillary Clinton at this point, only because I just want to see a fight at the convention. You know,
I would vote for Hillary versus Barack for sure.
Well, there you have it. I wouldn't vote for either one of them. I'd vote none of the above if I had to make that choice. But I don't have to make that choice. I'm going to have to choose between one of them and John McCain and Ralph Nader and Bob Barr. How about that?
Actually, there's a guy that ran against Bob Wexler probably 8 years ago, and he's running as president or for president. I don't know. He's from Miami somewhere, and he's one of these third-party ticket kind of on the thing. I don't know. There's like 30 of them.
I want him on my show. This guy. I'm some guy who used to run against Congressman Wexler's running for the presidency, and we haven't had him on the show. Where's my crackerjack research department in there? 877-850-8585. I'll give you a chance to talk with an aspiring Congressman, Edward Lynch, who is going to be running, not against Bob, he says, Wexler, but for the American people in the 19th Congressional District, which, by the way, is my congressional district, much to my dismay. I wanted to be in Klein's district after I moved so I could support Colonel Allen West.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Yeah, I like Allen a lot.
Okay. I have no idea what that means, but let me ask you a couple of questions. If you like Allen a lot, do you agree with Allen on many of the important issues that you're going to have to know about when you get to Congress?
I'm sure. I mean, it all depends which issues you're talking about, but we pretty much agree on a lot of the issues. Immigration, we agree pretty much on. I don't know Allen's stance on some of the issues like where we are with the oil crisis that we have right now, the economy.
He wants to drill.
Well, then we agree 100%.
Okay.
I'm for drilling yesterday. In fact, I don't know why we're not drilling yesterday back in Shale, the reserve that's in a lake that what is it, Lake Sacagawea, not to be confused with Sacagawea, but they've had this oil reserve that they've known about for years and years.
And North Dakota's got a oil reserve.
It's in North Dakota, yeah.
Okay,
and it actually spreads from Montana all the way up to Canada. And they estimate, and this kills me, they have no idea knowing how much is there. It's either 2 billion or 300 billion barrels of oil that are just sitting there.
Whatever it is, we'll take it.
Yeah, why aren't we taking it? This drives me crazy.
Yeah, well, it drives us all crazy, but I think that if you don't know the answer to why we're not taking it, you're probably not ready to go to Washington.
Well, that's why I am going to Washington.
Money, okay?
Exactly.
All right, the buck stops in somebody's pocket, and that's a good thing. All right, so you pretty much, I just want to get a measure. When you say you agree with Alan's stance on illegal immigration, are you for securing the borders with a fence?
I'm for securing the borders yesterday with a fence. In fact, we should have done it in 1983 when we granted amnesty to all of those people, which showed all of those illegal immigrants. We showed their families that, hey, you can come over here, no big deal, and you'll get amnesty eventually. Mm-hmm. If we would have secured the fence back then, we wouldn't have the problem that we have right now, figuring out where to find and what to do with 12 to 20 million people, which is probably higher than that because they hide a lot. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing that we should do. The next thing we should do...
So he's already got my vote, right? It's like now it's just a matter of schmoozing for the next few minutes.
Okay. Well, we're paying right now in prisons to have illegal immigrants get 3 great meals a day. And it's better. I've done a lot of business in Mexico. I'll tell you what. It's bad in Mexico. I don't blame them for coming over here. No matter how bad we could treat them, it's not as bad as they're being treated down there in their own country. So they're getting 3 great meals a day. They get to exercise. Not only that, they get to benefit our educational system, our legal system. Our lawyers come and defend them, which boggles my mind considering they're not citizens, so therefore the Constitution doesn't apply to them and they don't have the rights that American citizens have. So countless dollars that we're wasting right there every single year that we could use for all of these entitlement programs they could be paid for just with the people that are in prison. And we can just keep continuing from there. We have laws.
Yeah, we got it. We have laws, exactly.
And we should start doing the things and prosecuting the people that are breaking the laws.
Enforcing the law would seem to be the only mandate for government.
Well, why do we not do that? Isn't that what we're sworn to uphold when we become a congressman?
You think?
Well, and why isn't it one of Bob's issues?
He'll never make it. It's like when you hear these guys and they just really have good hearts and they want to do the right thing, and all you can see is like when they get there and the vultures descend on them. But that's okay. We're gonna still support your philosophy, because what you're saying so far is very good. Let me ask you a couple of other questions. What about the armed forces? How do you think we treat our veterans?
All right, now this is something that's very near and dear to me. I opened a company up after doing some consulting at the West Palm Beach VA hospital. One of the best experiences I've had is witnessing veterans that get the treatment when they need the treatment. Then I've had the opportunity to work down at the Miami VA hospital, ranked out of the 153 VA hospitals in the country, ranked number 1. The place is overrun with mold. The veterans are treated horribly there. The people that are in charge there are so corrupt, and that's what actually started me getting into looking into political issues, because I was happy. I was kind of semi-retired. I was hanging out, enjoying my life.
Made a lot of money. Didn't plan on spending it on a campaign.
I didn't even want to get involved in any of this stuff,
right.
And God's blessed me, and I was happy. But when I saw what was going on down there, it made me look into things. The more I looked into things, the more frustrated I got. And then, you know what? Every day I went home, and Abraham Lincoln said we should be a party, or we should have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I think he's wrong. We should be a government of the people, by the people, and for our children. If we would have the vision to know where we're going, we would know what to do right now. And unfortunately, they started an oil cartel, and we let them start it. Mm-hmm. And we said, go ahead, have fun with it.
This is what I was talking about yesterday. He's married, though, and younger than me. But do you have an older brother?
No, sorry.
Okay. I got that Duncan Hunter look on my face, don't I? Like I'm looking at this guy like he's a chocolate sundae or something. Just kidding. I'll try to remove that aspect of it, but you are absolutely